If you want to fly the November airplane, no matter you fly around the world, maybe you fly to Mars.
You can still get a medical certificate, can still exercise to be a pilot in command.
Yeah.
But there are limitations this is case by case for everyone. Hello everyone, welcome to PilotCast. I am so happy to see you on our second episode, and I hope that you are doing fine. On our first episode, we talk about how to log instrument time. If you missed it, feel free to check it out on the link at the end of our video. If this is your first time joining us, my name is Betsy. This is PilotCast from 14-Day Pilot Flight Academy. As usual, we are here with Gema Guyari, Chief Instructor of 14-Day Pilot Academy. How are you?
Amazing. I'm really excited to talk with you. And of course, in the PilotCast, a lot of people already sent us an email and asking about a lot of topics. And today we're going to choose talking about the medical certificate.
Correct.
Around the world, people asking about, hey, I'm not tall enough. I have a problem with my eye. I'm wearing glasses. Can I still become a pilot? That's always the problem. A lot of people think that if you want to become a pilot, you have to be very perfect in your health situation, like 100%. Your eye should be in a very good shape, and you have to be very tall enough, maybe like NBA players. That's only the myth. So we're going to discuss everything, and this will be the best answers for those people who want to take a flight lesson and also to become a pilot, maybe as an airline pilot or charter pilot.
Right.
So yeah, so let's discuss about it.
Sure. Let's dig into it.
Yeah.
Because this is like make or break for pilots, right? Now, the nice thing is that all the information are out there for everyone to see. It's very easily accessible, and for our fellow pilots who want to know more, they can find out in FAR, Part 67.
It's all about a medical, right?
It's all about medical certificate, and they don't really have to like wonder what do I have to expect during the medical examination part. It's all here.
Before we discuss about this Part 67, let me tell you, have you ever thought about why those people think if you're not tall enough you cannot be a pilot? Or maybe if you have a problem with your teeth, you cannot be a pilot. That was happened like 20 to 30 years ago when some flight school, maybe in Europe, in Asia, most of them, they're coming from the Air Force.
Okay, military
base and background, and some schools, they adopt that kind of standard.
Okay.
If you are looking for opportunity to become a fighter jet pilot, so they have like very certain high standard. The question is, if you ever have like a problem with your teeth, you just go to the dentist and fix everything, and you go for the medical examination for aviation, then boom, it's all done.
Right.
But basically, we have to revert to the regulation. So let's say you're here now, we're talking about the FAR, Federal Aviation Regulation for the United States, right? For the FAA stuff. If you want to fly the November airplane, no matter you fly around the world, maybe you fly to Mars with a little Cessna. One day you can bring that airplane to Mars. As long as you fly for the November airplane with the FAA license, then you're gonna follow all about Part 61 and the FAR. We have some lists here, like eligibility to get a medical certificate: eye, ear, nose, throat, mental, neurologic, cardiovascular. But here I cannot see the teeth requirement. And I don't see either the blood test. Because here in the FAA, we don't need that. And you will see here, like, eye is the big issue for every country, though. Anyway, a lot of people asking as well, hey, I got a color blind.
Okay.
Can I still become a pilot? What do you think?
Well, for that, of course, the first person you want to talk to is AME.
Yeah. You go to the medical, right? You consult about how deep is your color blind. Basically, if you go to the medical examination, they will have a plate and to show you the numbers. It's like a color blind test. The question is, if you fail, doesn't mean, the good news is, it doesn't mean that you cannot become a pilot.
Because there's actually like more examination and more steps after
that
for them to examine if you can operate safely or not, right?
Yeah, so we have first class, second class, and third class medical certificate.
Right.
I'm gonna go deeper on this. So when do you really need the first class? is when you are exercising your ATP privilege, which is become a pilot in command in 121 operator, the part 121, right? With a commercial pilot, it can be a pilot in command in 135.
Correct.
Right? So therefore, to become a pilot in command in 135, since the pilot certificate that is required by the 135 is a commercial pilot, so you don't have to fly with a first class medical. But some company, they want you to have the first class medical. See, you need to differentiate between the FAR, what the FAA want, and what the company wants.
Right.
But you can still fly for maybe private jet companies, right? And I got workflow. Let's move to the flow chart. Yeah.
Okay.
Because this is the biggest question. There's a lot of people asking, hey, I got a partial blind. I got a full color blind. What I have to do?
A lot of people think like that's the end. They just can't be a pilot at all.
Yeah, even Jessica Fox, if you still remember, a very brave and smart woman without hands and only...
Oh, the one without limbs, yes.
Yes, right. But she can fly with a certain limitation, but at least she's a pilot.
Right.
See how fair the FAA is. Now, let's see the color vision testing flow chart. We started from the top list. When you find a reality that you fail in the color vision screening test, it's not the end of the world. You can see that the blue is the limitation. Medical certificate limitation is not valid for night flying or by color signal controls. The color signal control, it means that you're flying under, let's say you got a radio comm error and then you're expecting the ATC to give you light gun signals. And also when you fly under IMC, you got approach light system. Right. You cannot see puppy. Then when your flight situation require you to see that approach light, then that will be a problem. Then after you got that limitation, then you have an option, the airman option, to take operational color vision test, OCVT, at daytime. If you pass, then you can get a LOE, the letter of evidence. Okay, that LOE will give you class 3 only. Okay, and bracket must pass color vision medical flight test for upgrades.
So you can upgrade.
You can upgrade to the first and second class. In fact, you need to do MFT tests with the FAA examiner. That's the MFT is medical flight test. You fly with the FAA examiner, and they will ask you to differentiate the color and so on.
Oh, like in an actual flight.
Actual flight, right? But how if you still fail on your OCVT a day, then not valid for night flying or by color signal controls. Then you need to do a retest at nighttime. So after you fail in daytime, the next retest will be at the nighttime. And if you flung again, the medical certificate limitation remain not valid for night flying or by color signal controls. I don't see anything about you cannot get a medical certificate.
At all.
At all. There's nothing, right? If you pass, then the medical certificate limitation not valid for flight during daylight hours by color signal controls.
Okay. So you can still get a medical certificate, can still exercise to be a pilot in command. Yeah. But there are limitations this is case by case for everyone.
Yeah, and remember,
this condition.
Other than the first, second, third class medical, what kind of medical do we have?
Basic math.
The basic math. You can still at least flying, right? You got that basic math. And the next question, if you pass that OCVT, then you need to take medical flight test. If you pass, then LOE upgrade to class 1 or class 2. If you fail, then no upgrade, LOE and certificate remain class 3. That's the answer. Do we have other slides?
The next one is actually statement of demonstrated ability.
Okay.
So this part is, well, if we see down there, the physical defect is defective color vision.
Nice.
Right. So this is what is issued by Federal Air Surgeon. And this is a base for AME, Aviation Medical Examiner, to issue you a medical certificate.
Wow, okay.
Yeah.
So this works as your medical certificate? Or
no, this is the base to so that AME can issue you a medical certificate. It's a pretty small font, but it says this form cannot be used in lieu of a medical certificate, it should be attached to your medical certificate.
Like bring it together with you.
Yes.
Okay.
Bring it together with you.
And for others, let's say got a lazy eye.
Lazy eye.
Yeah, that's another situation because the lazy eye, it's deal with your like the muscles of your eye, and we got 2 students so far with that problem. Then we have to send that students to the eye doctors. Yeah, and then they will do like practice exercising. It takes about 2 months or sometimes 3 months, and they come back for the medical examination. Finally, they pass.
Now, the next step is for them to actually meet an AME. And the good thing is that aviation medical examiner, FAA aviation medical examiner are spread all around the world.
Yes.
They exist all around the world. And to find that, this is the link that all the pilots want to go to.
Yeah.
Because this is the formal or legal database from FAA, www.faa.gov/pilots/AME locator. They just have to pick that they want to look for an AME, search by location.
Sometimes they're in the hospital, sometimes in the private clinics, or even their home. We never know because they work as individual. As the examiner that got authorization from the FAA to check you. It's about maybe $100 or sometimes they charge you $150. It depends.
Yeah, it depends on their own fee as a physician. It's as easy as scheduling an appointment with your physician.
Yeah, and my suggestion is before you even think about to become a pilot, don't be afraid about your medical concern. Just call them and do the check. Just pay for $150 and you will know exactly right away whether or not you can be a pilot based on your medical condition.
Or if you know that you have like some underlying condition that is treatable, might as well go to your own physician and treat that first before you go to the AME, because when you actually schedule a medical examination for medical certificate with an AME and whatever their findings, it goes to your records.
Correct. And don't speculate and don't guessing. Just call them and talk and consult even before you do the task. Because everything when you consult and not doing the task, that will be off the record. Right. If you conduct the task, then the problems,
the findings will be on the record. So just consult with them just as a physician, and then ask them about your condition. If you are to go to medical examination, FAA medical examination, what are the possible outcomes? And then from that, you treat it first, and then you come back to the same person, but to do your aviation medical examination.
Yeah, that's the smartest way. And you guys can call us here in 14-Day Pilot Academy. We have a lot of friends, the aviation medical examiner, and I can introduce you to them, and you can talk first before you even do the task.
Right. And this is what it will look like. Once you get it, this is like an empty
the blank form.
Sample, but it's a piece of paper. Once you do your examination with them, pretty much you will get the result right away at that day. And then they'll give you this, and this is what you have to make sure to keep with you when you are exercising pilot in command privileges.
Correct. And the medical certificate, the first, second, or third class will be note on the top page of the medical certificate. And remember, if you have a first class, and if you ask me what kind of medical that you should take, the price is same. So I always aim for a first class medical if I know in fact that I'm good enough to get a first class, because they have like certain limitation. Right. If you think that you have a weakness, then maybe you want to get the lowest one, the third class, because the third class will be valid for 5 years anyway if you are below 40
by the time of the examination.
By the time of examination. If you're already 40 and above, is valid for 24 calendar months.
Okay. All right. That's pretty much everything that we are going to cover for this episode. Thank you so much for your help.
Thank you.
Thank you for your explanation. I'm sure it helps a lot of other people outside, aspiring pilots or those who just have like maybe a new medical condition.
Correct. And drop us a comment if you have questions, and also give some ideas what kind of topics you want us to discuss for the next episode. All right, fly safe always, and remember 14-Day Pilot Flight Academy if you want to get a new rating, new licenses, or even start your first initial flight training to become a pilot.